this is Amanda Bradshaw here at the Small Business Center at Sampson Community College, right in the heart of Clinton, North Carolina, and Sampson County. And we are joining you today with my good friend here, Don Spry, also known as the SBA guy. SBA standing for Small Business Administration. I told Don earlier, that's one of the things I get a question about sometimes. People come just drop in my office and they'll say, are you the SBA? And I go, no, I'm the SBC. We're the Small Business Center. And he's the SBA. So this is not going to be confusing at all that you got both of us sitting here today with all the acronyms flying around. So Don, one of the questions I get a lot with folks coming in, or one of the kind of hindrances that I see for folks coming in that are looking to start a business is access to capital. That's just a tough area for some folks, especially if their credit hasn't been the greatest, or they've never even thought about this business until 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden they're ready to go do this. So first of all, can you explain to us what exactly capital is, what you can do with it, and how the SBA fits into that?
Well, capital first is simply having access to money, cash, okay, in order to go ahead and either start a business or grow a business. It can even be done to acquire a business. When I talk about expansion, maybe buying more inventory, hiring more employees, developing cash flow in the business to create a little bit of a margin in terms of your expenses versus your income. But ultimately, when we start talking about getting access to capital in this country, it's a process of what I believe folks decide to bootstrap a business where they use their own cash to start that business, or they look at going ahead and usually leveraging debt in the form of a business loan to go ahead and get access to that capital. And there's a process involved, and the process is very key. Because ultimately, really to me, the difference between failing and succeeding in small business is following a process that allows you to go ahead and get access to capital. It's kind of like going to high school then to college, okay, whatever you may do, okay, or in the service. There's certain things you have to do, and that's part of the process, because we find out very, very quickly that folks are not usually made to be entrepreneurs, okay? They're not small business people. You have to learn a process. You have to learn a skill. You have to learn how to market a little bit. You have to have a product and service that people want. You have to convince them to buy it, okay? So understanding that you have a pedigree to offer and a skill set to offer is the first idea. What can I do? What product can I offer or sell, or service I can offer? And a lot of it's a skill-based. A lot of us knowing how to work with people, okay? So take a look at yourself internally. Do you have the confidence that you know you need to have to succeed, the discipline to overcome adversity, and really having the self-sacrifice to go ahead and work long, long hours, sometimes for very little pay, as you build your business up? Now, when we talk about capital again, it's the banking system that provides this. And the SBA utilizes the banking system. What we do is whenever a bank can provide a loan to a small business person, they're required by law to do so. The SBA does not provide direct lending at any time except for natural disaster relief assistance. So we utilize the banking system. So if you decide to want to get a loan, you talk to a bank. If the bank can make the loan, they'll make the loan on your behalf. If the bank turns you down for whatever reason, that you've been in business for less than 2 years, that you have less than 100% collateral because the bank requires everything to be fully collateralized, then you start talking about maybe with the banker, can we do an SBA government guaranteed loan? Because we will help startups in business less than 2 years. We help folks have less than stellar credit. And because the taxpayer funded government guarantee program is really collateral in the bank. That's what the bank will use as collateral for you, which is generally up to 85% for any loan under $150,000, which means you may have to put down less to go ahead and make your idea become reality in terms of equity required by the bank.
So talking
I hope
about
I made that simple enough.
That sounds very clear. You broke it down. So if you're looking to get capital through the SBA or use them as a partner, you're not going to come to Don directly and go, Don, I need an application for anything. You're going to go straight through your lender, through your bank first.
Your bank first.
You're going to go through your bank first. So here's my question. A lot of folks will ask this. How do I know if my bank works with the SBA?
Virtually every bank can, and that's an easy question to ask and find out, okay? And where I step in, okay, is ultimately if you've gone to your bank and they're not an SBA-friendly bank, and some banks are not, okay? I mean, it is the government, and not everybody really is comfortable technically participating with some government-guaranteed programs. I get all that, okay? That's why I have a job. right? But ultimately then, that's when I ask you, if you're not finding good satisfaction working with your bank or banker, then you give me a call, and my job as Don Spry, SBA guy, is to find an alternative lender, probably somebody online, someplace out in the banking system, or maybe somebody else in North Carolina as an alternative lender that is a lender and not a banker. And there's a difference. Banks are usually for-profit type of entities, and lenders may be like production offices where they offer SBA lending and other types of capital that would be available through an alternative basis, not like a bank where they have shareholders and other responsibilities or other requirements, okay? We're very lucky to still have the strongest banking system in the world, and we rely upon the banking system to make these decisions on credit initially, but then if they can't get that approved with you for whatever reason, then we offer the SBA as a backup plan so we still can get you capital and utilizing the government, because we understand that a small business may start with one person with a germ of an idea, but then you hire a second person or a third or a fifth or a seventh, okay, and grow exponentially in some cases. And we know that small business is really the nucleus of our economic success in this country as still a capitalistic system.
Absolutely. And I think you brought up a good point too, that, you know, I meet a lot of folks that they go to the bank or they've already been to the bank before they come to me. And the bank has told them no. The bank has told them no for whatever reason, and I ask them, you know, what are the reasons? And some folks look at me and say, well, I'm not 100% sure. My first thing is go back to your bank and find out why. Find out what the problem was, that, you know, the reason they did not want to lend you this certain amount. But it is just so supportive, and it's great to know here that even if the bank does tell me no, that there are still options, because some people will take that as a no and they won't use that determination and that gut feeling that they know that they have and work past that challenge and figure out that, hey, yes, this is the route that I wanted to take. This is not available. So I need to plan Route B and Route C and explore those and see what those are. And I think that's a great partnership that we have through the SBA to be able to do that.
Well, what you said happens all the time. A person decides to make their own home-based business plan, okay? It doesn't meet the metrics what the bank is looking for. They haven't checked their credit. This is what Amanda makes the big bucks here for, okay? She provides great counseling resources for developing business plans, marketing plans, financial plans. She has a very strong analytical tool called Profit Sense that will take your business and compare it to the historical trends of the industry and help you in terms of cash flow projections and profitability. And why is that important? Because you're starting a business and you don't have a clue of your cash flow or your profitability yet, okay? Because it's all based on fiction until you actually get a year down the road and have been a business. Banks don't touch you until you've had at least 2 years in business to prove your mettle through 2 different business cycles, okay? But with Profit Sense, the lender has that aha moment because they've been able to see what other similar businesses in similar markets have done, and Amanda's a bit of a wizard at utilizing Profit Sense, okay? So to me, don't go in the bank and start looking to get money, because you have to ascertain what your startup capital is. You have to have a break-even analysis, how long it takes you to grow and get in the business where you start turning a profit. That's what the banker's going to be asking you. You know, I look at a banker this way. They're going to look at that nice first page and you've done some graphics and whatnot. Then they go to page 15. Okay, sir or ma'am, how much is this going to be cash flowing? When do I get paid back? That's all the banker really cares about. Yeah, they don't want to run you off. They want you as a long-term customer for deposits. So they don't like turning down loans. The better you're prepared, the better opportunity you're going to have to go ahead and convince that banker that you're a professional business person and you deserve a working loan as long as you meet the metrics of decent credit, having a business plan, showing you put research and effort into it, and answer all the questions they may have related to that business enterprise.
Great. That was a great explanation there, and a lot of encouragement for folks that are looking to open their own business, and those folks that may have already tried to do this and didn't quite get the success they were looking to do the first time they stepped into the bank. So great encouragement there. Any last words on accessing capital?
Well, again, it's a process, okay, and don't be discouraged. I mean, one of the guys I always try to recommend in terms of just considering what he went through, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was turned down for credit numerous times. He crashed and burned. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, okay? Some of the greatest entrepreneurs in our country's history were told no over and over again. I've even got one I'll tell later on about in one of your classes about Sylvester Stallone, how many times he was turned down for the script of Rocky, and what he was able to overcome to get that script put together and become wildly successful through the Rocky series. So whatever your vision is, just simply say this: do not give up. Down the road here, Michael Jordan was cut by his freshman and junior varsity basketball team, and I would love to be Michael Jordan if I could, but obviously don't have the talent or skill set. So just simply consider this: that is your vision, your goal, your dream, your reality, okay? And you make it each and every day by working at it. Capital is just one piece of it.
Sure.
Doing the research behind it, understanding what works for you and your life and your family and your customers and your skill sets. That's the first thing to consider. Are you ready for it? You need some additional classes here, some training resources. You need to talk to me or some of my other resource providers to get industry knowledge and industry experience. That's where our benefit really comes into play, free and confidentially. And as I said before, when I say free, I don't mean cheap. We have some outstanding, very high-level executive sources that can help you find a new way to germinate your business into something that's very successful.
Exactly. So let me throw this out there. Through the SBC, the Small Business Center, we offer 2 direct services. The first one are seminars. We offer no-cost seminars, and we partner with folks like Don here through the SBA, and he'll come in and he'll work with us, and we'll teach a seminar based on what we feel the needs are, kind of after we've taken the temperature of the county and the business owners that are currently here. So we'll do seminars. Here at our particular SBC in Sampson County, we do about 60 of those a year. Okay, so that means that no, you do not have to invest your money, but you do have to invest your time. And that's one of the things that I see folks say. They'll come in and they'll ask me, they'll say, well, how can I learn more about this? And I'll give you a brochure and I'll say, here it is. Well, out of those 10 people who ask, I have 2 normally that show up at seminars. The first thing is a time investment. If you're looking to open a business, that's going to be one of the first things that you need to do, long before we start talking about capital, is that time investment. You got to get your mind and you got to get educated in these areas. And those seminars are great tools to do that. He does some awesome seminars whenever he comes to town, so be looking for that.
I am pretty good.
He is pretty good, I will say. He is pretty good. Folks tend to like him whenever he comes to town, and we always have a great conversation. That's the important piece. It's always a lot of good conversation back and forth between the folks that are in the seminars and him with his knowledge that he has. So the second piece that we offer as the SBC is confidential one-on-one counseling. And sometimes that means that one-on-one counseling is just with me, so we can kind of get a feel for what direction we need to go in. Sometimes that means we may pull Don in, and he is just as confidential with his information as I am with mine. So you don't have to worry about your news or your idea being spread across the county or across I-95 this way towards the beach. None of that's going to happen. This is totally confidential here, and we are so fortunate to have partners such as Don with the SBA that are able to come and offer their knowledge and their wisdom to us here in Sampson County.
Because we're filming multiple sessions here today, this is very unscripted. We're just kind of talking about things to try to help small business. Just to kind of follow back up on, we talked about access to capital. There's a bit of a checklist. Okay, you've got to be able to go ahead and first check your credit. When the SBA loan's required, at least a score of 680 is required through your FICO. A bank may require a little bit more. For an SBA loan, it doesn't matter how long you've been in business, less than 2 years versus startup. For a bank, they usually want at least 2 years in business to qualify. With the SBA, collateral is many times we look at cash flow rather than collateral. Some collateral is required and some investment in the business is required. You've got to have some skin in the game. For a bank, they're going to require 100% collateral from what they choose to be acceptable collateral to back that loan. For every dollar you're going to borrow, you got to have $1 in acceptable collateral. Okay. So, and ultimately, bottom line is having the business plan. Second down, having good ideas in terms of the research process of it. All right, not giving up and understanding the fact that it is a process. And of those who do it, we can turn the fact of most businesses that fail about 90% of the time from startup to within 5 years. We can help you achieve high levels of success by following this same vetting program. In fact, most folks who follow this program, 91% of the time will pay off their SBA loan 91+% of the time. Banks will see 97 or 98% of their folks pay off their loans over 3 years through a balloon note. So they have even a higher clientele rate than what the SBA does. But we are willing to take chances on you based on your capabilities and your skill sets and what you can bring to the table. And we'll help you with our resource partners and providers to get there.
Awesome. So Don, if I wanted to get in touch with you to ask you more questions or to learn more, how do I do that?
Give me a call.
Okay.
910-398-0746 is my cell number. And then my email address, don.spry, S-P-R-Y, at sba.gov.
And he does answer his email. I will vouch for that. He answers voicemails and emails in a very timely manner. So if you're ready to rock and roll, give either one of us a call. You can call me, Amanda, here at the Small Business Center at Sampson Community College at 592-8081. That number again, 592-8081, extension 2032. Extension 2032, or you can reach me by email at jbradshaw@sampsoncc.edu, jbradshaw@sampsoncc.edu. So looking forward to working with you. Hope you get a chance to come in and spend some time with either one or the both of us, or attend some of the upcoming seminars. And you can check those out at our website at sampsoncc.edu. That again is sampsoncc.edu. You'll look under the Continuing Ed tab, which is up top. And once you look under that tab, you'll find Small Business Center on the right-hand side of the page, and you can view all of our seminars that we have coming up, and you can register online, or you can call me back at that number again, 592-8081, to register for any of those free no-cost seminars. So we look forward to working with you. Hope you have a great week. Thank you.